Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74. We are doing an outdoor video today. This is going to be a long one. It's meant to be quick. None of them are really that quick. This one's going to be about the price drop of the Quantum X P-Series 75-inch version that released yesterday or the day before. We did a video on it. We also did a C9 video that I'm going to touch on. We'll do a whole separate video on that as well. Quickly, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Brad Miller, Joe Fiore, Sundogs Kid, and J to the M. These are the guys that sent me heads up that the display had gone down so drastically in price. I really appreciate all the help, guys, and those of you that comment frequently, I really appreciate that. Is the part of community that I love. I love that everybody interacts, everybody helps each other out. It really is a community. That's what we're looking for here, and you guys brought that to my attention, and I apologize if some of you are still trying to bring that to my attention now. These are the comments that I saw. And quickly about the comments, I am so humbled and happy that you guys comment, and I'm in the process of returning those comments. The problem with me is getting back to those comments. I won't release content until I catch up, and I have so much to say and so many different videos and topics that I want to cover. I'm going to pretty much catch up on the comments during the weekends. So if you guys can be patient, or if it's something that's pressing, just resubmit your comments and I'll definitely get back to you guys. I typically get back to every comment that I see. It's just that when this stuff happens and it's on my mind, I want to kind of get out there, and I don't want to limit my thoughts or the content based on the comments. So please just be patient. And one more reminder, please do not attack other people in the community. If someone brings up an OLED, if someone brings up a product they have, whether it's a cheap one or expensive one, please don't attack them. If I see it, I'm going to remove it, and eventually that person's just not going to be part of this community anymore. Please don't attack each other. I'm not interested in that kind of community, and I will keep it this way. That is the only guideline that I have. It's the only thing that keeps this community where it is me controlling it a little bit. I have no desire to watch you guys attack each other. I can do that in every other content on YouTube. I can see any other video and watch people tear each other apart. As this channel continues to grow, which I'm so glad it does, I still want you guys to try and be positive with each other. Have discussions, argue, but attacking each other. And I saw some of that with the the C9 video that I did. OLED is such a hot topic in terms of love and hate. I have no interest in it. No interest at all in having this channel be that. Discussion, friendship, community, that's all. I have no desire for it to be anything else. In terms of how toxic the rest of YouTube is, I don't want it here. I don't watch channels that are toxic in general, and I love that this community is the way it is. So please clean it up. If you guys have an opinion, please express yourself in the longest comments you can. Make them as detailed as you can, but please don't jump on other people's comments. And quickly, I appreciate people wanting to defend their comments, their display. If you buy a new display or a new graphics card, I appreciate you wanting to tell everybody how amazing it is. But all I can say is lighten up a little bit, in a sense of no one's bashing, or I shouldn't say that. If you're bashing a particular product, don't take it so personal. Just ignore that person, wait for me to jump in. But this whole defending and crushing other people's stuff, that sets us apart, guys, as a community. It really sets us apart, and that's the community that I want. And that's what I want from you guys as a community and as a bunch of friends, is have discussions, but please don't put each other down. Please don't tear each other up. I have, again, I'll say it again, very little tolerance and no interest at all in that kind of community. Back to the topic at hand. We have the Costco. It'll be backwards for you guys. You can't see it anyway. But you have the 75-inch Quantum P-Series at $2,799. Shipping and handling, $0, so I imagine that means shipping is included. Now, if you go into a Costco yourself and you buy it in store, which they're not available in store, I don't think shipping is an option. You would have to take the TV home with you that day, as it is a wholesale club. If you walk in there, typically everything you walk with you carry out. They're not going to offer shipping, but on a website, shipping will be included. As you go right to add to the cart, it's going to hit you with the Square Trade for $99, 3 years for TVs over $1,000. You would just add that to the cart. Pretty amazing, $99. So what are my thoughts on this price drop? Should you guys order it right now? Jump in and order it right now. Believe me, I almost did. My response to that is no. I would not buy it right now. It is tempting. I don't love anything going on sale as it releases. Now the Quantum P series released like a month ago. It's already being marked down. They did that with the Quantum P series last year. Is it alarming to me? It isn't. The display has not gotten any bad reviews. It's gotten very good reviews. The problem with the reviews that it has had so far is they're vague. They're not the ones that we're used to. Typical reviews that you see online are the build quality, the picture quality, great blacks, little blooming. We're used to a little bit more of analytics, wanting things to be very detailed. You won't get that from Vincent because these displays aren't sold over there. So Artings is the company that a lot of us go to, primarily for numbers. Now I love Artings. I do love their reviews. They're not always 100% accurate or agreeable. No one is. So there's some things you're not going to agree with. Like the A9G review they did on their OLEDs. You know, their review was the A9G was the darkest OLED so far. Now, I personally believe that unit is their specific unit. Since they buy displays themselves, they don't cherry pick them. There will be variations in the units. There will be, their display might be darker than yours due to the fact that shipping, whatever. But there's times where those numbers might not match up. Other times they've been spot on. They're the ones that are letting us know the Z9F contrast ratio and the new QLED's contrast ratio are different than they were before. They're the ones that let us know that the Z9D and the 940E had a slower pixel response. So, all that said, I would still wait for their comprehensive review. Even if some advice when looking at their review, read in between the lines. Is what I mean with them. So they have their opinions, their reviewers. Look at their numbers, read things very, very carefully. Even with their OLEDs, when they say their OLEDs get 9 point whatever, they still put in every single review some banding is present. There is some crush. There is this. The ABL is aggressive. You have to read the entire thing to really get what they're saying. And the good thing about their numbers, their contrast ratio, their peak brightness, is that you can then compare it to last year's Quantum or Q9FN or Q8FN. So I sent them a message today from my Facebook, direct message them, introducing myself. But if you look at, I will show you this someday, my messages with them during my 4K nightmare, it's a little embarrassing. It starts off hopeful. It shows all my defective P series, all my defective KS9000s, and it'll show you the version of me before the channel started, where I was looking for any information I could get from them. And I will tell you, they responded every time. They were a little short because I think they were losing patience with me, but they were definitely responsive. They definitely helped me get through that, and they steered me to the 900E. What's interesting is, though, guys, is I have proof of my own messages where I didn't want the 900E. I was so snobbish. I'm like, it's a mid-level. I don't want a mid-level TV. I'm flagship. Flagship only. And it's the best TV I ever owned. So I sent them a message today, and that message basically said, hey guys, I'm Brian. I have a small YouTube channel. I'm looking to pull a trigger on this display, and I want to be able to recommend it. I know your review is incoming any day now. Can you at least give me a heads up if it's at least as good as last year's Quantum P series? So, what do I mean by that? So the Quantum XP series is the successor to the 2018 Quantum P series. And it's a little confusing because the Quantum was their flagship. Their P series used to be their flagship. The Quantum X is now their flagship. The Quantum is now their standard P series. So there isn't a regular P series, if that makes sense. So for those of you that want a cheaper Quantum X, grab up the 2018 variant that's still in stock. It's excellent. The Quantum XP series now, that is releasing now, is the 75-inch version. I would have loved to have had a 75-inch version of last year's TV. So that's my baseline. So when I talk to somebody like Artings, if this TV, which should surpass that one, if it's even with it, it's a buy. It's a definite buy. It's 2,000 plus nits, dark blacks, and what we're looking for, guys, here is Z9D, Q9FN specs for a fraction of the price. That's the big picture. We're not looking for OLED $10,000 picture quality from the Vizio. I'm also not looking for 950G image quality from the Vizio because it is their flagship. The 950G is not Sony's flagship. So I'm looking for that, again, Q9FN from last year's specs. And if you look at Artings and look at the specs between last year's Q9FN and the Quantum P series, they were neck and neck. And in some places, the Quantum actually beat it. But here's the thing. It beat it, but the elegance of its local dimming, the presentation isn't going to be quite as smooth as Samsung's, which at the time, the Q9FN, I think, was maybe almost 8,000 at 75 inches. So keep that in mind. That's the difference when we're talking about that. What I love also about the comments is there's still that prejudice against Vizio as a garbage brand, a bargain brand, which is what makes this journey, for me personally, with the Vizio, it's going to make it so interesting. Is if I can purchase one of these brands, even the TCLs, and I can bring that information to you, I think it's valuable. It's valuable for the community. And that's why I'm still going to purchase it. Now, if I do get a message from Artings or their review comes out and their contrast ratio is lower, if it's lower by a couple hundred points, if its peak brightness isn't there, if it exhibits more blooming than last year's, I will tell you now I will not purchase it. Which is why I will not pull the trigger on it right at this moment. My wife asked, is that what we're looking to purchase right now? Should you purchase it now? I'd have it, it's valid through 7/14, so it's valid through July 14th, and it's tempting, but without the reviews and without the numbers, I can't do it. I almost pre-ordered the Z9F, and again, guys, do not take this personal. The Z9F is still stunning, but I wanted it to be better than the Z9D. The Q9FN was my favorite display of last year. I want the Q90R and the Q900R to jump up in every facet, and they didn't. They're still great, don't get me wrong, but they changed a couple things that I wasn't a fan of. I can't promise Vizio won't do the same thing. So I'm just waiting for those numbers, I'm waiting for those reviews, and then I will have it. What we will also do, guys, is we'll be doing side-by-side comparisons with the TVs next to each other of the Sony 900E and the Quantum P Series X when I do get it. I will allow 2, maybe 3 displays if they're defective. I won't go through 11 of them or everything else. I want to touch on the OLED quickly. For me, the display that I would like right now would be the 77-inch OLED. I've always wanted one. When I was going through my 4K panel nightmare, they were $15,000, $16,000. That is ridiculous. They're now $7,000. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up is that, remember, the goal for me buying this TV was for the channel. I don't need a display. I'm not in the market. And I do research on all these displays for me and for the channel. When I'm looking to buy one myself, the research goes to another level. Now I'm breaking it down. I'm looking at the specs. I'm going very, very deep. And it's very distracting. So after that 4K shootout where the new Sony OLED won, it actually made me look harder at the C9. I like LG's presentation. I like their pop. Sony is beautiful. They're more natural, but I like LG. I like their design. So for me, that's the display that I would want. I saw that one on Costco's website for $7,000, which is still insane. To be honest, it's still insane, but in comparison to what I spent in the past, I started looking at it pretty. But remember why I got into it, and this is something I want to advise you guys on. I built a computer a couple years ago to be 1080p at 60, and then I got it to do 4K at 60. There's a certain turn in there where you start wanting the best of the best of the best, and you start to forget why you got into it in the first place. Many of you are looking for a 4K display that does XYZ. Then you see the next level up and you're thinking, oh my God, for another 500, I can get XYZ +2, +3. And it gets very dicey very quickly, and it can get irresponsible very quickly. I have no business buying a $7,000 TV. None. No business. No business purchasing that right now. Because the idea behind buying a TV, if you go back to a few videos ago, was it was affordable. It was high-end picture quality without breaking the bank. And we talked about the concept of bang for the buck. The OLED is the exact opposite of the bang for the buck. It's beautiful, they're gorgeous, I love them, but if I buy a $7,000 OLED, guys, One, it won't be very relatable. A 77-inch OLED, I don't think helps the channel at all. I don't think anyone's going to say, oh, they might say, oh, cool, that's awesome. Anyway, the Vizio is an LED. It's something that is obtainable from many of you, from 75, even 65. The community is really, for me, all about trying to pass down not elitist information, but information that is something we can all kind of get our hands on. That's why these videos are just me talking. It's not presented and scripted. It's just what's on my mind. And why I'm looking at the OLED is I'm a plasma lover. They are absolutely jaw-dropping. And I'm not promising you that I won't end up getting it. But as of right... My dog, come here. As of right now... It's Apollo. Say hi, Apollo. Hey. Just had his eye fixed. There went my TV budget, $6,000. Anyway, is the concept of getting that OLED is to eliminate a lot of the things like the blooming that bothers me, the darkroom performance. Oh, so let me just start this over. In the last video, a lot of you guys were commenting on, I said I have no fear of burn-in. And some people are like, why? Why don't you have any fear of burn-in? Well, listen to my needs, and this is where it's relatable. My needs: darkroom performance, in a dark room. Number of users in the household, 1. Kids won't be using it, wife won't be using it. TV watching, regular TV watching, cable, 0, none. Sports, 0, none. Meaning I'm not worried about the LG's ability to upscale 480p, 420p, or any of the old resolutions or any of the standard definition. It's going to be Blu-ray and up. My gaming habits: I play online competitive FPS, PC, but when I play PC games, guys, my Windows is open for about 3 seconds. I pop on Steam, the game is there, I play the game, I power it off. My computer is never left on, Windows is never left, I have screensavers on everything, so I have no fear, and that's what I'm saying to you guys. It's not being a cocky jerk, I just have no fear of burn-in in that regard. My usage is very measured. As much as I love being on YouTube and doing the things that we're doing, I don't use these displays anywhere near as much as a lot of you guys do. I don't watch regular TV very often. I don't click channels much. I have freaking iPads everywhere. I do a lot of this stuff. And the TVs, so admittedly, as we're jumping around, it's very little cable. I don't watch cable news. I'm not somebody that watches a lot of news. I don't watch ESPN. A lot of the tickers going across the screen, barely any. So new movie watching, and that's about it. So for me, the OLED is absolutely perfect for that darkroom environment. Now quickly back to one other topic as we're talking about upgrading. I sat down and watched a movie with the kids the other day, Captain Marvel, and I was downstairs and I realized I had not sat and actually watched the film in a really long time. And I mean, not doing a Blu-ray review where I'm, up on it. I was actually back far. I was watching a movie on the couch. And it's amazing with really watching content, watching a movie, how beautiful the display I have is already. Now I'm gonna give Freddie 2 times a shout out here too. Him and I had the same conversation about his Sony 900F. While we get into, looking at all of our history and we're going frantic, you forget what you have. And I suggest that a lot of you guys, including myself, taking my own advice, is upgrade for a few reasons. I'm sitting there watching Captain Marvel. Once the kids left, I got that disc out of there and I put in The Shallows, which is an amazing Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray. And I sat there and I was in awe of how beautiful the Sony 900E is. Its pixel response, its color, its HDR, almost 0 blooming at all. Just beautiful. Black bars, black. Now remember, I'm right in the center. I'm not off angle, I'm not above, I'm not below. And I had this amazing guilt. Like, why am I trying to replace you right now? Now, that guilt doesn't feel that way with the Quantum XP series because I'm buying that for the channel. The 900E will go upstairs. It'll get more usage than ever. Think of it in terms like Toy Story. I'm not replacing these toys. It'll get played with more upstairs. What are you chewing on? And it won't, in fact, be replaced. Now, if I buy the OLED, it will be replaced. And what I mean by that is I'm bringing in something that I don't really need. I'm bringing in something that isn't necessary, and I don't use it enough. That 4K nightmare, guys, that year I spent doing all of what we talk about was brutal. And it was returning, and Amazon and Best Buy and talking and everything else. I enjoyed zero content. I completed no games. I white knuckled every game I played because I was waiting for something to go wrong, because you get programmed that way after a while. But it's definitely letting me realize I want to enjoy my content. I want to enjoy the display that I have. I love the Sony 900E. It's incredible. I really am happy with it. I am doing the Vizio Quantum XP series. And guys, don't worry about me. I know a lot of you guys are like, don't spend the money. Don't worry. If I couldn't afford it, I wouldn't get it. I am fascinated by a display like this. That is why I'm looking to purchase it. If we can find TVs like the TCL and something like this, if this Vizio can be what it says it's going to be, then it benefits every single one of us. And it'll be a great thing for the channel. If I don't like it, I'll send it back. The OLED, I'm not saying I won't get it, but I need to check myself. The journey wasn't go spend as much money as possible. The journey was for me to get something, not handicap my family's finances in the process, and just enjoy it and relate it to you guys. I think tests with the Vizio will be fascinating. I think seeing how it does at this price point is something that is very, very fun to watch. The OLED, hey, I can't promise I won't get it, but right now the Vizio is down in price. Check it out. Thank you to everyone that sent me that message. Appreciate it, guys. As a community, please be kind to each other. I love having you guys. I love talking to you guys. Just please be kind, respect one another. That's community, that's family, and I love you guys. And I will talk to you soon. This video is very long, but it's one of those all over the place videos, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you in the comments. Check out the Vizio Quantum online, but wait to purchase it until we have more comprehensive reviews. I am Brian from Whisper Status 74. Take care.